Welcome, this is Jason Paddock, and we're going to talk today about how I use blogs and Twitter for professional development. This is just sort of a basic overview to give you guys an idea of how you can use these tools pretty effectively. Nothing too deep, just kind of simple and something that I think you can start doing right away. So first off, I want to find blogs worth reading, and we'll sort of talk about how we can do that with Twitter in just a moment. But once we find blogs, and in this case, we're going to use Ashley Blanchard's Class Tech Bites as an example. This is one that I want to read routinely. I'm going to subscribe to it using what we talked about in class the other day, an RSS, Real Simple Syndication service. Their Google Reader used to be a very popular one. Now a lot of people have switched to one called Feedly since Google Reader no longer exists, and there's a ton of other options as well. But we will look at Feedly today. So this is Feedly, and this shows a bunch of different blogs that I have subscribed to, and you can put them in different categories over here. So for example, I have one called Tech Ed, which is this group of blogs right here. I have another one called EDRD 651, which includes all of your blogs, and then there's one just called Uncategorized for all the other stuff. And you can see it's a nice look, gives you an image if there is one, along with the headline and the brief little beginning of the blog. And if I click on a blog, it'll show me the entirety of the blog here. And if I click on it again, it'll actually take me to the actual blog. So this is the real thing that has more information in it. Or I can come back here and just check it out. And then from Feedly, there's lots of options. I can send it out through Twitter, put it on something like Facebook, email it to people. So there's lots of things I can do with it right here in the post. And if I click the preview button right here, that actually pulls up the full version that you can look at, just like if you just clicked on the site. So that is how you can look at the articles. But if I want to subscribe to one, like Ashley's here, I'm going to click on Add Content right here. I'm going to type in the address. In this case, I copied it, so I'm just going to paste it in there. classtechbites.blogspot, and here it shows me the blog, and then right here I can click the plus button that I want to add a new source. And in this case, I'm going to choose EDRD 651 as the category to put it under, so I keep them all nice and together. This is a really good option for you if you have a bunch of students in a class and you want to keep up with all their blogs. Just group them together in one group, and then you want to check them all at one time. You just pull up the category for the class. So then I click Add. At this point, I've added the content. I can go back to Feedly and click just on EDRD 651. This will pull up all of the entries that have been added. It has today, yesterday, and then goes back to prior dates. Over here, it's got all the blogs that I follow inside EDRD 651, so all you guys should be listed here. And over here, there's a drop down, so if I don't want to look at the whole group, I can just instantly go to a particular blog and take a look at it. So here's our Class Tech Bites that we just added, and here are her responses right here. And again, I can click on it, read the blog right here, have those same buttons to share with other folks, and it becomes a nice tool for me to look at all these very quickly and then use them and share them if I want to as well, so it saves a lot of time. Second thing we are going to look at is using Twitter, and in this case I'm going to use a specific tool called TweetDeck to find more articles and voices. So this is TweetDeck. It is a way of having a bunch of different columns that are more or less Twitter feeds all appearing in one location so that you can look at a variety of different things. So for example, in this first column is my timeline. If I was looking at my regular Twitter page, this is basically what I would see, the people that I follow and the things that I post. My second column is mentions. This is anything that mentions me, and while not many people would actually mention me, I just like to know if it does happen and respond accordingly if I need to. So I keep an eye on people that mention me. And then over here I've got a couple of columns. This one's Level Up BC, which is the Level Up is the name of a book club. I'll talk about that in just a second. And then this is another one called EdTech. Now EdTech is a hashtag that a lot of people use on Twitter to post resources for educational technology, and you can see that as we sit here, things are coming in. You'll probably continue to see them for the next minute or so. So I basically search this term, and then anything that has EdTech in the post will appear in this feed. So one thing nice about setting up something like this is if you have a specific interest, you set up a search in here, and then anyone posting anything connected to it will appear here, and you can start to find people that might have good information for you and begin following them so they appear in your timeline and you get to see other things that they're posting. So that's how I've accumulated a lot of the people posting about education in my regular timeline, is I discovered them through EdTech. And then there's cases like this where you have a specific organization. In this case, it's this Level Up Book Club. This exists as a blog where a community of people have gathered to talk about gaming and education. And they use this hashtag LevelUpBC to post articles about using video games and education. So I don't actually even participate in the Level Up Book Club, but I do use their search so that I can see the great resources that they post. So the way to think about this is I don't ever try to read every single thing posted about Level Up BC or about EdTech or even the things that come across my timeline. In fact, I would say well over 95–99% of it I probably don't even look at all. However, at any point when I want to discover some new things going on or try to find some good articles, I can check in on these feeds and see if I can find some new stuff that I haven't really heard of before posted by people who are interested in some of the same things that I'm interested in. So a couple of great ways to find information: use blogs and use a site like Feedly, an RSS service, in order to keep up with all those blogs. And then I use a source like TweetDeck to get through a lot of the junk that goes through Twitter and find some good resources for you. And that is just a sort of an overview of how I do a lot of my own professional development. Thanks.